I had a partner in the past where like I had to call the police.
What?
Welcome back to the show, guys. I'm Mario.
And I'm Peter.
And we're Guys That Listen. On today's show, we got one of Cali's hottest up-and-coming DJs.
Yo.
She identifies as a kitty cat. She's a weeb on the weekends.
Meow.
DJ Seduza.
Hey. Hi.
Welcome to the podcast.
Hi, Mario, Peter. Thank you for having me on this podcast. Hi,
coming.
everyone. My name is Michelle. I'm a Filipino Chinese American from the IE, Fontana. But I just moved to Brea recently, so OC Locale. I'm a DJ. Been DJing for about 2 years, seriously, and I am an aspiring international DJ and hopefully soon producer.
What does that mean to you exactly, becoming international?
Literally DJing not just only in Cali, not only the United States, but being able to celebrate music, to share and celebrate music globally.
Nice.
Share the vibes, you know.
Hey.
Is there somewhere you want to go specifically? You have your heart set on, like where you want to?
I would love to do an Asia tour. I've been to a decent amount of parts of Asia, and the club scene is dope. But just like being able to hopefully perform there. I'm Filipino and I'm Chinese, and so it'd be cool to just go back to the motherland. But really, like globally, there's such a huge music community everywhere in their own pockets, and they have their own culture, and like going there would be really cool to share like what I have and what I have in Cali, them Cali vibes.
Do the Philippines call to you? Like, is that where you want to go back to the homeland? Because I don't think you can DJ in China. You're gonna say that. Like, I don't think you can DJ in China.
Oh yeah, China would be a little hard due to regulations.
A little hard.
You can go, but you can't come back.
I've done internships and then fellowships in the Philippines. I've been able to go back after I was 18, so that I got to party out there, and the music. What do you call that? Music taste is pretty fire.
Yeah.
I'm not even surprised though. But like when you go to the club scene, like I remember going to this club called Black Market, and they were playing like all these SoundCloud edits that I was listening to. I was like, yo, it's popping in here.
Yeah,
so the club scene is popping. Philippines culture is also just really well versed in like learning what the global sound is at the time. Super into media.
I could see that.
Yeah,
all the Filipino people I know are so talented. Like,
yeah, so musical.
So musical. Yeah. They can either really good at basketball or dancing or singing or making videos.
Wow.
Boxing nowadays, right? Right?
No, Peruvians are cool.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Pupusas.
Wow,
that's Salvadoran.
You know. Wow.
But actually, I was wondering, Isolation, that's your event, right?
Yes.
Yeah, tell us a little about that, because I saw it. It looks really cool.
I love Isolation. But thank you for asking about that. Yeah. Started doing that last year in October, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Legacy OC.
Yeah. I mean, Legacy is a lot more different than when I used to go there.
Yeah.
But it's because we used to do events there too.
Nice.
For like a good 2 or 3 years.
Damn.
We saw it used to be 888, then Red, and then Envy, and then Legacy. So we saw all those transitions. So I've known, well, the owners are different now finally.
Yes.
But I knew all the old owners before, and they're interesting people.
Right, respectfully. Yeah. When I started doing stuff there, people were like, "Oh, the owner's still there," and I'm like, "I don't know who you're talking about," because the owners I am are new, and obviously people run things differently.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, it's a cool club. Club. I started there DJing because they reached out to me after I did a show at Time Nightclub. Time Nightclub is also in like Costa Mesa, Lower, and then Legacy's in Newport, and then I was a resident DJ at Legacy, doing like bi-monthly situation there, and then they offered me the side room. So there's 2 rooms, right?
Yeah.
And then they said, hey, like we'll give you a budget. You can run the night. You can DJ all night there, or you can, you know, book friends, or and you can play whatever you want. I was like,
that's pretty tight. I'm glad you guys are doing well too, because that spot is a little difficult to do.
Yeah,
like because your events are not always 21 over, right? Sometimes.
Yeah, so their club, they work on their own terms, like whether they want to run an event that the whole night 21 plus, but usually it's 18 plus, and sometimes they just choose not to market. Certainly, yes, that there's like a stigma of like 18 plus. Of course, we don't want to catch a body, catch a case. But in the club scene and in your business, and you're trying to share music and party, sometimes that under 21 energy is unmatched sometimes, and when we're playing house music and they're in our room, they're celebrating, keeping the vibes up with us.
Under 21 energy? So are like the cat users for cougar cats?
Okay, first of all,
hey, we'll get into that later.
We'll get
into that later.
But respectfully though, the 18 over the time, we decided we wanted to like move forward from that venue, just because not only the 18 plus was making a little like, we all want to be counting our crowd, and they're majority like 23, 21 plus. So it wasn't always cohesive, and also just having two, because they would have two promoters that night. So it'd be like I would be Isolation, then they'll have another promoter who works for like something called Toxic Thursdays, who like College Thursdays, who their market is 18 plus. There's different cultures in those two different promoting spaces, but then you're bringing them together, and that's also the Legacy's business model too. Like they just want to get numbers in. That's something I had to respect as a party thrower. So like just moving forward and agreeing to disagree on certain things, and just like wishing each other the best. And we're just been trying to tap into LA more now, and still stay in OC, because all of us started in OC. And my best friends we started with are from OC.
Do you find it like that the crowd there is very age range goes very wide? Because when I've been there, when I used to go to your events, the crowd, we'd have like people there in like their 50s or late, stuff, and I'd be like, and they're vibing in the music and stuff, and I was like, but I don't see that anywhere else. Like, there's a significant amount where you notice it.
But I love that though.
I know, me too.
Like whenever I see like, and I'm not young by any means, but
young at heart.
Older heads than me though, like when I see them go out and they dance, they just get down, they look like they're having the best time. Like they don't give a fuck. And that's the best thing, because like it's always the younger people, like the really young people, that judge the old people. Oh man, shouldn't they be home with their kids now? Shit like that. But it's like, bro, once you get to a certain age, like you'll understand. You understand that like the more you get fucked by what other people think, the less you're doing what you want to. And that's just facts when it comes to older people. They just know.
Are you at that age now?
Huh? Am I at that age now? I think I haven't given fucking a long time, so I would say yes, for sure. But
just being less judgmental.
Yeah, you just I'm funny enough. So one of the people who actually said something to me about my age, I think I was like 25 at the time. It was Michelle Vu, a different Michelle. Oh. Funny enough. So I met her. I think she was like 20 or something like that, or 19. And she was like, "You're 25. Aren't you too old to be going out today?"
Damn.
Like, it was my friend's house party. Ooh. I was like, what the fuck? At first, I just shrugged off and I was joking a little bit. But after a couple shots, I was not that friendly to her. I mean, we're cool now, for sure. Because now she gets it too. Yeah. Where she's like, okay, I'm at the age where it's like, oh, actually doesn't really matter. She's still going out.
I understand.
Because like that's how it is though. Like they think like, especially with the recent drama that we have, right?
Oh shit!
Right. Talking about 25. Talking about 25. All right, we'll talk
I'm
about
25, so cheers. Like we can talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Cheers.
So we got our first hater.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Our first hater.
So I think it was 2 weeks ago when I was like, "Hey, I would love it if we had a hater." Remember at the party, I was like, "Yeah," because once you get a hater, it means you've made it, But like,
whoa.
We had this girl come on, and like we had actually Adrian's episode where he's talking about like his family trauma growing up as like as a Filipino, as communication with his parents, how it was different from other people, and she came in with like, you cannot talk about this, you cannot talk about trauma. Are you licensed psychiatrist? Were your parents diagnosed as narcissists? Were police called? Did anybody die? And she just came in real hard, and like we were answering her back very diplomatic, very like nice about it, like, oh, not this but this. Yes, we've experienced trauma in this form, but we believe this is a platform for everyone to talk, to be able to like express their feelings, tell their story, talk about what you feel comfortable with. And she's like, I need to know what your parents are diagnosed as. I need to know, see the reports, tell me this and that. We're like, we're not going to share our private, like personal information. We're not trying to trash our parents or anything like that. We're just sharing our experience. Yeah. And it was like a 20-something comment thing, she'd go back and forth. We stopped talking. She goes and starts commenting on our stuff 2 days later, and she's like, oh, look, it's the guys from Queer Eye. Oh, I hate guys who like hate themselves so much because they're actually gay and hate on women and don't empathize with them because they're gay. And then we still didn't respond. She goes on Peter's Facebook and comments on a picture from 2 years ago on his birthday, and she's like, oh, I hate guys who are actually gay, who are like still going out with the bros when they're like older than 25 because they're not married and can't hold a relationship because they're still out partying and stuff.
Sounds like ridiculous.
She's amazing.
We're like, what is going on here?
Does she seem like a real person? Like on her
she's
account?
real. People know her.
She's real.
Oh no, people know her.
Yeah.
Oh, people know her.
People know her.
You guys know her?
I don't
met her
know.
once.
Oh, he met her once. Yeah.
I feel like that definitely happens way more to people
haters,
who
man.
Yeah, the haters. Like it's just okay. We've been around so much. We have friends who are in the industry, so we understand. We get it. Mm-hmm. But to people like that who, maybe she has friends, most likely not. But it's hard for her to understand because she cannot empathize with anyone. Right. There's no one around her. You know what I mean?
Lack of understanding.
Yeah, because like for us, especially like you're a DJ, right? You want to produce. like I love music too. You know, like I love dance and I can't dance without music, right? So to me, I'm going out, I'm trying to enjoy music. To her, if you're over 25, you're going out, you're trying to creep on some young girls. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
That's so
like,
limited mindset.
That's a very limited mindset, but maybe that's what she's experienced and that's all she knows.
Her reflection of her trauma and what she's dealt with, right?
Yeah. Because there are guys like that, you know what I mean, that just go out to kind of creep on girls. That's true. So, you know, speaking about that, since you have been throwing events now for almost a year, right? You saw October last year. Yes. Anniversary's coming up, right?
Yes.
Tight. Congrats. Have you ever noticed that in your events?
In terms of guys being creeps?
Because, I mean, you've attained a certain level of success now, right? Yeah. So the more, I feel like the more you're out there and stuff, people talk about you more. You know,
that's
people
true.
like trying to hate on you and be like, you know, this or that.
So... that's two different topics, right?
Sure,
there's like creepy guys. Oh, absolutely, always. Yeah. I've definitely I'll start with tapping this one first.
All right,
a creepy experience I've had was when I was doing my residency at a food mall. This was like before I started doing club stuff.
Yeah.
This was during quarantine when I was just DJ at a place called Haven City Market. Shout out to Haven City Market in Fontana. Hey. Adrian's been there too.
Not sponsored by them.
No, not sponsored. But they have the regular people who come there, eat there.
Yeah.
So there's a guy that was there, came, and who just happened to be there. And then following that weekend, I went to DJ there again, but he followed me on Instagram that first night, kind of messaged me and kind of had critiques about what I should do. So this is kind of a mix of creep and hater.
Did he talk to you in person first, or he just followed you and then started talking?
He just followed me and started talking to me.
Whoa.
And then the following time I DJ'd, he was there again. I remember because I'm like, oh, he looks familiar from that Instagram. And he came up to us while I was cleaning and he was like, hey, like, great DJ, blah, blah. He's like, where your groupies at? I was like, nah, bro, not the groupies, the homies. Like, the homies are here. He's like, you can't fuck your homies. I was like,
whoa, what?
Whoa, bro. And then he started talking about like, yeah, I have like 300 wives and like, oh, it was just really weird. Like I've definitely dealt with, and then he came another time, maybe a few months later, to my other gig at another space in the IE. And he like came up to me, gave me like Sour Patch candies.
Oh, that's kind
of nice.
Then
kind of walked away.
Oh,
he didn't say anything.
No.
Whoa.
He was like walking around and stuff, and he was like, I was like, oh shit, I know that guy. He was like, kind of dangling around, like pushing chairs in while I'm DJing. I'm like, oh god, he's like gonna come up to me, and then like I'm not like a judgmental. I'd like to say I'm not judgmental, and I know people can share their appreciation for things, but he just also has a passive saying really grotesque things to me on Instagram too, in terms of like sending me his fantasies about like stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What do you mean by his fantasies?
Like fantasies, like I imagined you like in this dress and this, and I just don't ignore him, and I've ignored him and unfollowed him and stuff like that earlier on before that. But yeah, and that's not the only thing. I've definitely heard, and like I'm pretty laid back, so of course I don't have to respond and engage with a lot of things I get. But there's some crazy messages I get sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I wish I prepared.
Was it like one of those German dresses? Like,
yeah. No. Like he was some like what do you call it? Medieval dress. And slaying dragons, and you and the
dragon,
me. And it's just you like some orgy shit. It was weird. Yeah.
What the hell? Wait, how old is this dude?
I don't know.
Like
probably 20-something, 25 plus.
Was he by himself every single time?
What ethnicity?
I don't know. It maybe came off as like maybe Hispanic.
Okay.
And like to be quite frank,
doing,
like
guys?
Forms of like this kind of awkwardness or like weird. Like his EQ was just really off. Like he was a nice looking guy. Yeah. Like
so he looks normal.
No, he looks good. Like he looked good, but his communication skills were just like really off the EQ levels. Like making my friends uncomfortable, making me uncomfortable. My friends are like, "You're good, I'm good."
That's crazy.
Yeah, but like in terms of just back to the question of overall events, of course, the club scene is made for a lot of different reasons, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
People come out, they want to have a good time, they get drunk, they want to hit on other people, girls and guys equally.
Yeah.
And these days, I don't want to just say it's just guys. Girls can be aggressive and can be uncomfortable to men too. No cap, no kizzy.
Yeah.
Definitely. So like, fair game. not to be one-sided, but yeah, dealt with some creepy guys before just trying to like hit on, but it's it's unfortunately a part of the industry for girls sometimes, especially 100%. When we get cute for whatever reasons we want, and then guys just think it's okay to do certain things, and we have to. It's like, how do we? And sometimes they're really drunk, so how do we control and escalate situations and be mindful of like not trying to be aggressive, but also understand we need to set boundaries as females or just anybody, and not have to be just, oh, we just want to be nice and keep the peace. No, like if someone's fucking with your shit, like, nah, bro, like this is not cool. And like people sometimes when you hold your ground, they will like, oh, my bad. You know what?
Yeah,
I hear you.
Yeah.
So you don't like, sometimes it's not out of malintent. But just like as a person on the other end, how do you set your boundaries very clearly and concisely when someone's trying to get at you or do something?
So how do you set your boundaries?
This is something I've been working on definitely the past 2 months, because I think like finding something like DJing that has inspired me to work so diligently. And like I feel like I'm so willing to make these sacrifices, not forcefully, but because I truly want to. But the result of that was I was learning I was overworking myself. So setting boundaries in the workspace was like realizing that I need to really sit down and define like, what does my ideal day look like? Does my ideal life look like? And ask myself the question, like, are my actions today working towards that? And then you have to face the hard truth sometimes, like, oh shit, that's not what's happening. And sometimes even answering the first question of like, what do I want in life is already hard as it is. But like for me, like creating tangible goals is really helpful in terms of my career right now. And then like the boundaries is like, going back to the topic of like picking and choosing my battles, like a lot of things in the industry, a lot of emotions will be heightened. I'm not only DJing now, I'm like running parties now, which is, and I'm trying to be a better businesswoman. And there's a lot of things, and like my whole business and just my whole investment in this DJ career is emotional, and it is all personal. But how do I separate my boundaries and understand that I'm not the only person in these arrangements, in these transactions, in these business partnerships? So how do I make decisions on a more logical and emotional standpoint and respect my emotional side? Setting boundaries also means taking my time, like take a step back and let myself feel things, and then make not feel so like needing to make. Sometimes my high emotions, something I've learned about myself is that when I'm high emotions, I start trying to make decisions like, oh, I need to do this then because this happened. I need to do this better. But no, like I'm doing this as a result of maybe exhaustion, being super critical of myself because I care about everyone's experience that's happening. So how do I take a step back and be like, okay, no, like everything has played out the way they did, and setting a boundary is, Michelle, you can think about this and thoroughly like you want to tomorrow with a better mindset. So like, like treating yourself, like just trying to treat yourself like you treat your best friends is how I've been trying to implement the whole like boundaries in my life better. And then what I've noticed that I am having better energy to be more present with all my friends and all the things that I want to do. Because what was happening with my overworking was that I was compromising quality. And that's just what happens when you're overexhausted. And there's a difference between sacrificing to me versus compromising quality. And there's a line between that can be crossed sometimes when you're overworking or you don't take a step back to progress check yourself and where your direction is heading towards. So those are a few things I do in regards to boundaries. And in regards to in real time boundaries, like in the club scene when I'm DJing, it's just like really kind of like, hey, like, excuse me. Hey, yo, like, you know, like, this is not cool. Like, take a step back. People who have come up to me, like, I've just learned, like, I can't just be nice Michelle all the time. Like, I need to be, like, assertive. And I think as a woman, it's still trying to unlearn that we don't have to be super, not necessarily submissive, but, like, there's always this energy of, like, oh, she's a bitch because she's like, no, I'm not no fucking bitch. Excuse my language.
No,
I'm not a bitch because I'm aggressive. Like, you're obviously crossing a boundary that is making me uncomfortable or messing with my vibe, bro. So like, and if you can't take the time to step back and understand that you're doing that and be mad because you can't control yourself, that's a you problem than me. And this is, or it's an incompatibility, and that's something we can agree to disagree on.
So it's a act up, you can get snatched up kind of thing.
Yeah. I just don't have, like, these days I just don't have enough energy to exert more than I need to. And that's something I've been trying to be acknowledgeable. Like, I will step my point, and then I will ignore if you can't be on the same page with me in terms of communicating what needs to be done for us to be on our, like,
have you had any, like, altercations where it's gone, like, you've obviously, like, been logical, been nice and everything too, and they just keep going, and you'd be like, you know, has it gone to that point ever?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I've definitely, I think that goes kind of gears back into the topic of haters. Yeah. And like, you just, sometimes people don't want to be on the same page as you in terms of conversing of something. I've had like a girl message me about like her boyfriend. She thought I was trying to get at him. And I was like, baby girl, like, ain't nobody trying to get at your boy. Like, it's a real thing. Like, girls have the right to have their emotions and what they're dealing with their partner. I just don't agree how she came at me, because she was like, next time it's on site. I was like,
what? On site? Site?
For sure.
And
I was like, yo, sis, like, respectfully, ain't nobody was trying to get at your man. Like, and that's facts. Like, if I really want your man, like, I wouldn't even want to try to get at your man, because I respect that he's in a relationship.
Oh.
But at the end of the day, you also have to understand that people have different needs in their relationships.
Yeah.
And that was something that she needed for herself with him. So I didn't try. And that's, again, the boundaries. How do I not take things too personal and acknowledge that, like, this is one thing happening right now and this sucks for me, but it's just like, hey, like, I'm going to do what she needs. Because like, I don't need that right now. Yep. And I do want the best. Like, I love love. Like, I don't want to be the problem in someone's relationship. So that's just one example of like, just a random shit I gotta do sometimes.
So I mean, I kind of want to elaborate on that event a little bit more. You said that she came at you saying that you want to get her man,
messaged me,
right? Randomly messaged. Do you remember her?
I do.
You remember her and
I know her name. I know him too.
Okay, so you know them personally?
Like we're all friends.
Oh, personally.
I don't know. I've met her. Yeah. I met her a few times, like, because she was coming to, because he's also a DJ.
Oh, okay.
And and I'm really cool with him.
Yeah.
We've messaged only very slightly back and forth, because we had one of our first gigs together, like when we came back into the scene after COVID, was together.
Oh, nice.
And like, I remember one of the messages that was last, I think, was a result for him, was a result to her, because I guess she looks through his messages. It was about like, I was just asking him to snowboard. And then, but again, like, it is what it is. Like, people have different needs.
Snowboard, just you two, or snowboard with a group?
I just said, he posted a video about snowboarding. I was like, yo, bro, like, let's snowboard too. I love snowboarding. And I've snowboarded with a bunch of my homies before. But then in result, and it could have been a lot of different things on her. And I'm not saying it's just those messages. I'm not trying to like invalidate what she's feeling or anything. Like, I'm just explaining, like, this is a situation that happens sometimes. A lot of these times, actions and friendships get interpreted differently. People feel intensely and act on them. And so this is all in all, is just like, how do I contain my emotions when they're heightened and respond to these things as logical as possible and preserved as possible?
So so I have a question. Do you think that two people can go platonically snowboard together? Like, let's say you ask them, hey, you want to go snowboard? And it's just you two going up there, snowboard, a few hours, just the two of you. Okay, just wondering.
Dude, just like, what's up, broski? Like, we just spend the hour together. Like, it is such a beautiful experience. Like, it was not, and if she ever does, or he sees this, I have mad respect for, like, it's a shitty situation, but that's not my relationship. That's theirs to deal with. And that was just something she needed for herself to feel. Because I've been in that place too. I have definitely been in a place where a girl and my ex at the time, what he had told me about her made me uncomfortable. And I respectfully said, hey, babe, like, because I know that knowledge, I would appreciate that you don't see her like that anymore.
Very mature.
So, sorry, I don't want to, like, interrupt, but I am, of course.
Go ahead.
So I'm curious, like, what is, because like, I know we're kind of talking about examples in like an abstract way, but just to kind of hear it, because I want to know why that's the case.
Got it. He told me, hey, babe, I was hanging out with so-and-so, and she was trying to fuck.
Oh,
okay.
First of all,
okay, what?
You do not hang out with that person anymore.
I thought it was gonna be subtle. I thought it was gonna be subtle. She's trying to fuck.
But I didn't. It was like, great job, babe. And then, like, mind you, me back then in a relationship, and that relationship particularly, like, I was still growing and trying to be a really good girlfriend, understand what it means to be in a really beautiful committed relationship. And so, but I was, and in that case, in that relationship, I was trying to be very understanding and patient, practicing those things that I may have lacked in the past. And so, like, I appreciate him communicating these things with me. Funny story is that down the line, that's the same girl that was the reason why we ended up, one of the reasons why we had to be breaking up.
Called it.
Yeah. I would call this too, the one girl that DM'd her saying that, she's trying to get her man. They're not going to last either. If you guys are watching this, I'm calling this right now. Just to let you know.
If they had gone snowboarding, I would say he would have made a move.
It was mad respect to him. Like, it wasn't even like trying to spit. Like, I met his girlfriend one of the first times I've DJ'd with him. Like, as a girl too, I tried to acknowledge my homies' girlfriends. Yeah. Like, when they got their G's, because I think it's really hard to be in a relationship as a DJ as it is. Yeah. And I respect girlfriends or boyfriends who are with girlfriends that are DJs that are there, like, trying to really support their persons who's like the star of the night sometimes, and they get a lot of attention sometimes. So it really sucked when it played out that way, but it's cool. It's like we did what she asked something, and I respected that.
Yeah.
And no fights since then.
No,
on site, I seen her again, and it wasn't on site. It was nice.
No, it wasn't on site.
Pussy.
We actually talk about a lot about like platonic relationships and friendships, and like how men and women, like, you know, we both have different beliefs.
Respectfully.
We talked about this before, where like I personally feel like you're gonna go snowboard with someone for like 10 hours, you two in the car, unless you guys have been homies from the jump, like from the start. Yeah, that's okay, you know. But this is like someone who like you don't have that like foundation with, who you've been friends for a long time, and it's like you two are hanging out. There's that like little like something there. It's not something that's like, it's something abstract. It's not something well defined.
Is that so?
That's what I believe. That's what I believe. That's what I believe.
So you just get bitches, right? I'm just kidding. Every platonic you friend with? Wow. I'm just kidding.
Mario's that kind of guy.
Mario's that bitch.
I just think
I just feel the sexual tension with every girl I meet.
Yeah. There's always a chance. I
just believe it's very difficult for two like single people to be platonically friends.
That's what you feel?
That's what I think. That's
wow.
what I think. Like 8 out of 10 times. 8 out of 10 times.
Also.
8 out of 10 times.
8 out of 10 girls too for him.
This is a totally made up number.
Do you have any homegirls?
I have so many homegirls.
Only 2 out of the 10 are homegirls.
That you haven't fucked?
The majority of my friends are platonic women who are married or in long-term relationships.
But if they were single, you'd have sexual tension.
No, because I have a foundation with them where I've been friends with them for so long. Where it's
so
like,
no new friends.
So we're new friends.
Stop.
Yo!
I'm married.
Oh, okay.
Married to the game.
Okay.
Peter is the complete opposite of me.
Like I'm actually majority like platonic friends with all my friends who are women. Like I can't think of like any that I really wasn't with. No, yeah, not really any at all. Like, yeah, we're all just friends for the most part. I feel like the women that I end up in, I've only been in 3 relationships.
4.
4? Oh, okay. I forget about her sometimes. But you know, it's always like, it always starts with like me trying to be friends, but they always express themselves in a different way. I'm like, oh, you're not trying to be friends. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then I'll ignore the signs for a while, and Mario will call me stupid a couple times because he'll be like, dude, she's obviously trying to get with you. I'm like, nah, she's not. He's like, why the fuck did she lay in bed with you then? I'm like, I don't fucking know. She was tired.
Why did she take off her clothes?
Why the fuck did you go to bed?
It was really hot.
So it's like, maybe I'm a little oblivious, but at the same time, I think it just works out better for me, the person I am, because I don't really pursue anything like most of the time. Like I said,
what a cool guy.
Yeah.
I think we're both.
Doesn't have to pursue.
I try not. You know what I mean?
Wow, what a life.
Well, I think we're both at these like extreme edges right
like
here.
That.
You know,
he's
both
that
at
bitch.
each edge.
I get you both are that bitch. Must be nice.
But there is that thing where like, on the last episode we had live therapy where because Peter finds it sometimes difficult to tell a girl that she's cute, you know, because he believes the complete opposite of me, where it's like, oh no, we're all just friends. Like sometimes like, it's hard for him to like, you know, like actually like flirt with someone, right? You know?
Yeah.
And we had a homie here, and she sat down, and we were like, Peter, tell her she's cute. Tell her she's cute. You know, he had to do it. It took him a little bit. You know, he was struggling, but he did it.
Good job, Peter.
Thank you. Hey,
we celebrate those.
Hey.
Do it again. Tell her she's cute.
What the fuck?
Tell her she's cute. Tell her she's cute.
He said, bro, why?
Always
we already did it last time.
It's our new it's going to be our new segment.
Hey.
Every time.
Tell her she's
Michelle,
cute.
you're looking cute today.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. You as well.
This took 5 minutes
with the
last
2
time.
chains.
This took 5 minutes last time.
You know what would look really cute though? Mario with some cat ears. I feel like.
I actually have cat ears.
Mario.
You have cat ears?
I do have cat ears.
Close your eyes, please. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Keep your eyes closed.
Okay. Why do you have these?
I'll take a red one.
Okay. Baby, I bought extra for the office. He said, when you're feeling a little catty, everyone just like you debate me if you think, but like everyone looks so much cuter a little bit with cat ears.
Why would I fight you on this?
You can't look at Peter right now.
You look so cute. Honestly, the red with the green, your little Christmas cat. Like, I love it.
Peter looks so adorable. Everyone looks so adorable right now, and his lights up. It's so cute.
You got the best one though. I like it.
No, I haven't seen it. I'm not gonna look at it till later.
Yeah, you'll find out what you look like later.
All right, let's get back on topic. Let's talk about haters.
Oh, haters.
Yeah, let's talk about your
what
haters.
What about haters?
This is a special episode dedicated to all of Michelle's haters.
Let's go.
If you are a hater, let's talk about it, baby. Like,
let's go into it.
You wanna maybe it's a misunderstanding, right?
Oh, it's the you changed your voice.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, is that the Seduza voice?
Whoa, is that what you think it is?
No, I don't. You tell me.
Are you feeling a little seduzy?
You tell me. You tell me. Your voice went down an octave, so I'm like, oh.
I got a bassy voice, first of all. Hey, how you doing? What about haters?
Okay, so wait. So, oh, my bad. I had a question.
Okay.
It is also about haters, but I just want to put things into context because you've been DJing for 2 years, right? Seriously,
mm-hmm.
Right? And since then, you've done a lot. Now, through your own events, you've played at Rising's event, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's sick.
So you're getting out there and you're like kind of moving pretty quick.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's like well deserved because I see the hustle, I see the grind, but more so with that kind of quick rise to the top.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's gonna be a lot of people who feel like in a way you kind of don't deserve it, right? Because there's gonna be people who's like, she's only been in the game for 2 years. Like what the hell? You know what I mean? Like I've been doing this shit for 10 years.
Right.
I'm an OG.
Mm-hmm.
So can you explain like how you feel like seeing people talk about you like that? Like just their direction. Obviously you want them to do well, right? Like 5-10 years, like you've been in the game. I hope that you get there.
Right.
But you're not, and I am. Sorry.
Right.
So how do you deal with that?
I've definitely heard sentiments of that from like conversations. I think one of the lessons that I teach myself all the time is like to stay in my own lane. Like I think it's easy to there's a lot of noise, right? How do I stay focused in a world full of distractions and opportunities, right? So I can either hyper focus on people that want to talk about me who don't even have the time to try to get to know me on a personal level or nor want to, or put my time into loving something that deserves my energy. And like when it has came to certain people, there have been moments where I it got to a point where I had to confront certain people,
really?
A particular person, because I was just getting numerous rumors that were coming from this person, and I literally had to confront them and be like, hey. And then even that conversation was not really productive.
Really?
I wouldn't say from mine because I really wanted to have a position and be like, hey, why are you saying these things? Who is this third person you're even talking about? Please put them in the group chat so we can acknowledge these situations. I would like to say I'm pretty decently confrontational, especially.
I like that. Decently confrontational. I would identify myself as decently confrontational too.
It's like you want to talk your shit but like now you're like really spreading things and you're causing my friends to confront me about these things and you're putting my friends in these situations that are putting their name out improperly too. Like there has to be a point where I have to put some respect on my own name, which is a nuisance a lot of the times. I'm like, why do I have to sit here and deal with your bitch ass trying to sit there and put my name down? Like, and my lesson with that, like not to sound big or anything or like big head, is that winners focus on winning and losers focus on winners. And like in my case, it's like, baby girl, like I'm not even in your lane right now. I'm not even trying to like, what I'm doing fucking with your life.
Yeah.
And the things that she was saying, it was just very like, paradoxal. Like you're talking about you don't want to even do this, but you care about your friends. But bro, like you're the one who's starting all these problems. You're the one who's coming to these people saying that these rumors exist, but you're just creating them. And you're making it bigger versus just confronting me like, hey, this is your problem with me. Yeah, you're involving all these people who don't have to be involved. What was your question again?
I was just wondering how you deal with situations like that. And obviously you confronted her, right? You talked to her about it, right? Some people putting like shame to the name, but
pick and choose your battles. Yeah. Like, do you think Beyonce has time to deal with all her fucking shit? Someone told me that one day. She's like,
That's good advice.
Does Beyonce deal with all her? Does she talk to everyone who's trying to talk to her every day? No, she can't.
Yeah.
So like with the current life I'm like working towards, I'm acknowledging, oh shit, there's a lot of things that come with it. A lot of people are trying to have conversations and do business or ask for advice or just admire or share love, and I appreciate that. And there's haters, but like it is like much like pray for the haters is what I used to say. Like just I think being a hater is a unfortunate state of mind for sure, right? Like
definitely.
It's like I've been a hater. Like I've been a hater mentality before, and
really?
It's an unhealthy mindset. I think when it came to like me and my partners and a reflection of insecurity, and the people that they were like my partner who was talking to that girl.
Yeah.
But I had to take a step back. Like that's not her. I should be hateful for. That's the boundaries that he's not respecting of me. Ooh. And I was a hater of that. I was like, that's normal. Like, I'm out here trying to like prepare myself to have a long distance relationship with you.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
And then like you want to, but then that's just life, right?
That's normal though. That's our growing pains in a relationship.
Changes.
Yeah, no, 100%. I feel like that's actually super common because when you think about it, here's all the time. Like a significant other, they're going to talk about some other person, right? And if that person cheats, you're always like, fuck the other person, not your significant other. But your significant other is the person who cheated.
No, fuck both of them.
But,
yeah,
but it's very common to be like, oh, fuck that chick. You know,
I
don't know whatever. So fuck that guy, whatever. I hear it all the time. And I'm like, wow, that's weird because the person you're with is the one who allowed it to happen.
I think it'd be the opposite for me. Like that person, like logically, whatever. It's my person. It's my person who cheated. Fuck them.
Yeah, logically that would be the case, right? And that's why, like, I mean,
but not. Humans are emotional.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not always a logical thought to like do that, right? So that's why when you said that, I was like, okay, that I've heard that a couple times from a lot of people. So it is normal that it's like that. But definitely, logically, it should be your significant other that's fucking shit up.
So right? I wouldn't consider like what you said right now, like as being a hater mentality. Not when it comes to a relationship. At least when in a relationship, I see that as growing pains. Like you're learning your own insecurities. You're learning where to be confident. You're learning and you're making mistakes as you go. That's completely normal.
Right.
That's totally the process of dating, being in relationships, going from one to the next one, and just like learning as you go. I think there's a different mentality when you're that, and when you're hating on someone's like success or career, and having that mentality there.
Right.
Like, and I like that Beyonce thing. It's like. It's a WWBD. What would Beyonce do?
Right. I love that.
True.
Yeah.
That's how I live my life.
I guess when I was talking about hatefulness, I guess it's just when I acknowledge it as an attitude.
I get what she's saying too. I definitely understand because like I've had definitely exes who were like did not like certain girls just because like they didn't like them. They're just like oh fuck her, like she's trying to get at you or whatever. And I'm just like. Really, she's not. She's just being nice, but maybe again, I'm just being oblivious. I don't know.
Yeah.
So maybe they're valid. I have no idea. But even then, I'm just like, damn, like you feel so negatively about it. You gotta say it like that, like fuck that bitch. And I'm like, damn, that's exhausting. To like feel
it can be.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's like certain things can just cause those kind of emotions.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like that's what sometimes even, for example, as haters, what I believe my hater that I'm referring to in terms of the person that was spreading rumors that I had to confront. What's that?
You can name them. We'll just bleep it out.
I'm good.
Spill the tea.
I think that she was definitely coming with the intentions to like personally like bring me down and like put me in a position to be hated by a lot of people. I feel like I deal with haters like as of the past year, like I did during that time. But I think it's because I just try to feed the world and everything I do with love, and like it sounds cheesy, but it's not. Like I've acknowledged myself when I've been in a hateful mentality, and I think it is very exhausting. Yeah. And I've told myself I've tried my best. Like, why hate? I don't want to even use that word in my vocabulary. Like, what is there? Like, what other things I hate right now? I hate like really racist people for sure, but even then, that's nothing like I'm personally dealing with like on
on a daily basis. Right?
And like in the relationship, that hate or that anger came from him hurting me, but like that growing pain in result was like learning how to be more patient and kind with myself, and be patient with that feeling and not ignore it. Like as humans, we go through all of these emotions, and hate is nothing to be like afraid of feeling.
It's a tool.
A lot of things happen in our life that we don't expect that causes hate. Someone does something wrong to my mom, I fucking hate. Like, oh my god, I'll kill someone for my mom. But trying to live like in this very chaotic life. How do I like preserve peace, feed with love? And it's hard sometimes. This industry is pretty fun, crazy sometimes.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But when I've learned that I've been feeding with love, like I can never not win.
Yeah, no,
in these like battles.
I agree with that.
Either we do something about it, or move on in our trajectories and.
No, I see it as moving with intention. Like I read this thing a long time ago where it's like there's steps you can take to move with intention in your life with like peace and like love and positivity. And not at least mine was not as much love but more positivity, where it's like stop talking shit about people. Like just stop gossiping in general. You do that, and every time you catch yourself like create a mark, create like some kind of note where you remember, like you talked bad about this person, just make a note. And over time you stop and you do these little practices, and you just start to move with like intention in terms of like positivity and peace. And like, what does it matter to you what somebody else is doing? What does it matter like what's going on in somebody else's life? Like, focus on yourself and what you're doing and what the kind of vibe that you're putting out into the world. And it makes such a difference in like your own like happiness, like your own like sense of like self-worth and like fulfillment. You just, when you don't care about other people's like lives, and not in like a bad way, we're just like, you know, I hope you're doing good. I wish you good. I wish you peace. I wish you love, but I'm focusing on mine, and you don't even think about them. Your life is just so much happier. You're so much better.
All right. So you were talking earlier about how you make guidelines for yourself, right? When you're at events, when you're DJing, stuff like that. And you also gave us that example of the guy like doing weird ass shit and what not to do. Right?
Don't give her sour gummies.
Yeah, don't give her sour gummies. What the fuck? Why would you do that, fucking weirdo? But anyways,
I like the sour gummies.
I mean, that's fine, but he's still weird for it. But aside from that, like, what would you say is the appropriate way to approach?
Appropriate way? There's a lot of different ways. That's like subjective, right? And that's subjective on the person and their intentions approaching that person or approaching me. I think maybe I'd say not necessarily ideal, but one way to approach me or approach a girl is as being like, just like think of respect. Let that word like lead your intentions. Like, I'm trying to respect you, baby. Like, hey, like, and then like just introduce yourself. Try to be as like intentional as possible. Like, try to make a memorable experience and not just think with the format, oh, I'm trying to get in her fucking pants, you know? And sometimes that works for people because sometimes girls are trying to fuck too. Like, that's their own experience as well. But in terms of, for me, I think if you're trying to make a memorable statement and have a good like first what's that word called? First impressions.
Yeah.
Like, hi, look me in the eye, introduce yourself, be a gentleman. Gentleman is like gentleman, like gentleman. Like,
damn.
Being a gentleman is so fire. Being respectful is still like, you can like, well, I'm just saying, like, being a respectful man, being a gentleman, trying to, you know, be intentional about each experience that you're sharing with that person, with me. Hey, from the moment we meet, you're going to set a really good impression. But if you're like, what's up, baby girl? Like, damn, you so fucking fun. Like, I'm trying to eat that ass. It's like, bro, like, that's like 24th base, bro. Chill. Like, but that's also different for every other girl sometimes.
True. Yeah,
but
true.
for me, it's just like, can you look me in the eye? Do you have a sense? Can you hold a sense of confidence that doesn't sound over egotistical? You know, we don't like an overconfident guy. Too much of anything can be just, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if I come pulling like anything too much of anything sounds like but those are just a few characteristics I'd say that are attractive to me. Confidence, respect, gentleman, can like just have a decent conversation about cool things.
So you said that, you know, make it memorable, right? Oh, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mario.
Hi, Michelle.
Respectfully, you have great cat ears.
Nice.
Perfect.
Meow, thank you. And see, that was something like he's not trying to be all up in my shit already.
Okay.
Like you don't have to always come off too strong and think about what comes off too strong. Like, sometimes guys don't know what comes off too strong too. So if you're a guy or a girl who's trying to flirt with somebody, like, there's no rush. No rush. You want to get good walk, bro? Like, good planning, good prep, good vibes.
Oh, okay.
So don't ask to eat ass right off the bat.
I mean, teach their own.
Damn it.
You want to take a risk? Go ahead, by all means. But like, for me, like, you want fuck first comes up? I'm like, bro, chill. Good night. You're done.
So dick pics no go.
No, thank you.
Have you had that experience?
Yes. Like some of those, what do you call those messages? They go to the general messages, or they get like message requests on Instagram.
Yeah.
So sometimes I have to check those because sometimes it's business related.
Yeah.
Or an inquiry. Sometimes I'll be like, damn, Asian baby girl.
Asian baby girl.
I'm trying to fuck with that Asian. It's real though. It is very super fitted, but.
So is it a lot? Is it a little? Like, how? What would you say the amount of dick pics you've sent have been?
I've definitely never sent a dick pic before.
No. Oh, sorry.
You received.
Excuse me.
Because this guy's
received.
On the other hand,
would you say less than 10 or more than 10? Oh, okay.
Like in my life.
Sure.
Probably like less than 10.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Yeah. I think we can measure the amount of somebody's like success by the amount of dick pics they send.
Wow.
So when you get to a certain level, you can come back on the show and be like, hey guys, I got more than 10 now.
Yeah. You've gone
what is your subjective perception of what success is? Wowzers.
I know, you mentioned one of the things that the guys should do is make it memorable, right? I know you said that word like 2 or 3 times.
That's my word. I like that word.
Yeah.
Memorable?
So it's a really, really important word currently for me.
Okay, that's good. And I think because you said make it memorable, what was the most memorable experience that you've had someone approaching you?
Bars have been set high.
Set high, really?
Well, at least over time. Like,
okay.
There have been compliments that have been very like, wow, that's a pretty decent compliment.
Sure.
Unfortunately, I can't think and remember exactly how they went. But I think one of them that was a impactful compliment was like, I wish I could paint you and have this memory of you forever or some shit. Honestly, I try to hold my ground and at a place where it's like I try to emit an energy that's not like I'm not trying to be approached like that right now.
Okay.
Like I love being in my space. I'm not saying I'm closed-minded to it, but like I come into my workplace, not saying that like I love DJing, but like I'm not here to like I'm not really interested in like being flirted with.
Because you're working.
But I'm down to have conversations. And I guess maybe that also comes with the trauma of dealing with people who aren't really like memorable and people who are trying to spit game. It's not even that they're the problem.
Yeah.
I'm just not in a place to like be interested in that kind of conversation. Like a guy was trying to like talk to me, and I'm like, look, bro, I'm not interested. Respectfully, that's it.
Oh, that's not your headspace right now, pretty much, right?
It's just hard to feel comfortable having those kind of experiences in the club for me right now. And it's not that I'm closed-minded again, but knowing like I'm just saying like, yes, no, I have no interest feeding into that to just like end up telling him the same thing I would have told him in the beginning. I'm not really interested.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it's like the place, like where what you're doing because you're currently working and DJing and stuff? Do you feel like that's the wrong space for you
not
to be?
Not necessarily wrong space. It's just a space that I'm not interested in right now. Yeah. Like if a guy comes off with the energy that they're trying to spit, I'm just not interested. Like I already have enough messages to keep track of, whether it's business related, trying to talk to my current friends that I'm already lacking my ability to manage my time, like trying to incorporate them in my current lifestyle, which is also a sacrifice that comes with like what I'm doing right now. Yeah. So that's the bottom of my interest is meeting new people with that intention of knowing that they just want to spit at me. Yeah. Because I know that I'm not really interested in dating it in the first place.
Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Respectful.
So it's not like, people can have that space. I'm not shaming on that. It's just a personal thing.
No, I feel you. I get what Mari was saying too. Like whenever I do events, like that's like a work thing.
You're just like you're so many things.
Priorities.
Everyone's experience is so important right now. And then someone trying to spit like, "Hey, baby girl," I'm like, "Baby boy, are you having a good time? Cool." And also, I'm not trying to say like, "Oh, fuck that," like or shaming them. Like I'm here to like be there for everyone. Yeah. And especially when I'm throwing events, but like that goes back to boundaries, right? How do you set boundaries? And also read the room respectfully too. Like you don't want to assume too hastily as well. Like I've been trying to learn how to not be judgmental and assume certain things too quickly. Yeah, you can be nice to everybody and still have boundaries.
100%. Yeah, it's exactly how I approach it too. Like for me, it's kind of like, I am having an event. We are drinking, we are having a good time, but I am not trying to talk to anyone. And that's something that's very common because like I feel like with my friends, they would always be like, "Oh, you should talk to this girl." I'm like, "Bro, I'm literally working right now." You gotta understand. I
think for both of you guys have this kind of perspective where like you're doing these things in your life, right? And so this like romance in a sense like is at the bottom. Because you are focused on like your career, you are focused on your goals and your dreams that you're like focusing on right now. So anything and your friends and everything else. So like this part, that aspect of your life right now, that's at the bottom. Yeah. And you're willing to sacrifice that and like not play into it. Where like, you see instances where like, like of course there's maybe a chance here. Or, like, they're kind of cute, whatever. But it's like I'm so focused doing everything else. Like I don't have time for this. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. 100%.
I wouldn't say that romance is necessarily on the bottom of my I'm definitely like I love, but it's hard to like that's also something related to like how am I basing my priorities. But I would say like romance and relationship wouldn't be my top priority, but I wouldn't say it's at the bottom.
Okay.
I mean, it's your goals right now, your dreams that it's at the top right now, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But doesn't mean like if that person does come, that's worth my time. Because being in a relationship, if you can find someone that is respectful to what you're going through, like there's such thing as healthy relationship and being in and also pursuing your shit, and balancing both. And I love being in relationships, if I'm being honest with you. But right now it's just not in my space. But I'm definitely not closed-minded to having someone that supports me and someone I can rely on. Because sometimes it is really lonely in this space.
We love a simp.
I'm a fucking simp. I'm a fucking simp for sure. But also knowing that commitment is a real thing, and like being in a relationship again for me is like, I trust this person with my heart. They trust me with their heart. I trust myself with their heart. And that's just something you got to like really take a lot of time to build and in terms of respect, trust, and all that stuff.
So you heard it here, guys. If you want to hit on Michelle, you have to come at her respectfully.
Respectfully.
She loves that simp energy.
Yeah. Gentlemen. Be a gentleman.
And like cats.
So, I mean, I know it sounds like right now where you're at, you seem very like, I would almost say like stoic, like very at peace, right? Because it sounds like you have gone through some, of course, anytime. You had gone through some stuff before with your ex, and right now you're just trying to like figure out where you need to be, right? So I'm curious, like, with what happened to you in the past, what would you look for now in a person?
In a relationship?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thinking a partner, an ideal partner. So this means that my path in terms of my strategy, in terms of partner looking, building something that's open and friendship wise, like learning that about like green flag activities always. Really though, like there's been things in my past that are red flag and green flag, and passion and love and feeling good and physical stuff. Like it feels so good sometimes. It's easy to feed off that as young women and men, right? But now it's like over time as I've been in multiple relationships, it's like breakups are just so fucking exhausting.
Yeah.
And so it's just like,
Sir, go on.
So how do I be like the next one I'm gonna be with is gonna be a real one, and I want to be a real one for that person too, and I want to be as and loyal and there for them and committed, because that's what a relationship is, right? We want commitment, and that word is so, I don't want to say sensitive these days, but at least for me, like I know what it takes for me to be in a committed relationship. And what I'm looking for is someone who can provide longevity, who can be patient with what I'm going through right now. I have goals that I know that are tangible and that I really want to get to. Yeah. And it takes a lot of understanding and time to like sit down and understand me. Like I need understanding me is hard. Understanding me takes a lot of patience, and at least for myself, I know that like I am a very like. I have a lot of characteristics that can be hard to manage sometimes when you're trying to love somebody, because I have so many priorities. And in a relationship, sometimes the person can want to have a lot of attention towards them, but I have a lot of attention for my family. I have a lot of priorities for my career. And if someone can provide that patience for me and be there for me and trust me, and likewise, and if I can do that same back, that's what I'm looking for. Relationship, like if I'm gonna be it's going to take time for me to even fathom that, because I want to go through the get to knowing stages. Like back then, I used to advocate for like someone you've known for 2 weeks can have better intentions than someone you've known for 2 years, right? Yeah. Oh, wow. And that's true. That can be true. But in the relationship, mind state, like, nah, bro, I need a few fucking months with you and let's go through some turmoil and see how you handle when you don't get what you want. And likewise, and see how we handle those things cohesively, and then we can make judgments. Okay, cool. I want you to meet my family. I'm ready to build that relationship, and not just with me, because being in a relationship with me is not just me. It's with my family. It's with my friends. It's with my goals. It's my career. Because I'm not going to change that and sacrifice that for anyone anymore, And that's something that a partner has to understand, and that's something that I want to fully feel genuinely for my partner. I want to inspire them. I want them to inspire me.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Some high standards. I like it.
You can have all these guys who watch this episode be like, "Hey, I'm the one. Like, I can be patient, baby.
Now respectfully. They know their approach. I'll be a gentleman for you, respectfully.
I'll wait for you."
Damn. Okay. So I mean, Yeah, that's the blueprint. She's spelling it out for you guys.
Literally telling you how.
Okay, yeah. I mean, crazy because like what I'm trying to ask you right now is because obviously that's what you want, like to be at peace, something that works with your life, everything flows, right? That's kind of what you're looking for. But I'm curious as to like what were the crazy parts of relationships that you went through? Because you said that sometimes there's some turmoil you got to go through before, this thing works out. So I'm curious, what kind of turmoil have you experienced that you could tell us about?
Yeah. I think something I could acknowledge about my past that I could have been more mindful about was how did I acknowledge certain red flags and green flags and what I do about them. So one of my partners, again, like earlier I talked about how like certain things can feel so good and then things just kind of end up in this like situation where you're in a relationship but nothing has been clearly discussed. Nothing has been expectations haven't been clearly discussed. So in result of that, I dealt with having a partner that this guy followed hella random girls on Instagram. And this is the same guy I talked about who like ended up having like the girl that I had issues with, she came up again and as a result was like a red flag.
Yeah.
Red flags. Oh man. I had a partner in the past where like I had to call the police.
What?
Yeah. And that's the crazy thing that you do with that. And then I look back at the relationship, there's a lot of different ways I could have approached that connection better in terms of avoiding a very like surface level commitment. And what I'm saying is that like we met very briefly. We didn't really build a friendship prior to versus again outside of the online presence. And he took me to one of my first raves.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then
this is a while ago or?
This is like oh shit.
It was like last month.
Oh shit. This is getting a little technical.
Hey.
Long story short, I got really, I would say almost addicted to the rave scene.
Oh wow.
Because
really?
it was when I first started.
Yeah.
We do a few drugs or whatever, right?
Dropped.
And E-love is a real thing. And then it got to a point where I wanted to start selling drugs.
Oh wow!
Started selling Molly through him, then
oh shit!
But over time I realized like, I don't want to do this relationship anymore. This doesn't feel right for me. It was a long distance relationship, but it was a breakup that took 6 months.
Jesus.
Wait, what? How did it take 6 months?
And when were the cops called?
So I tried to break up with him after 6 months in a relationship. So Hard Summer is where we kind of started our relationship. December is when the last rave was, New Year's. And I realized, like, this is not for me. This is not healthy. I was trying to just consult with some of my friends and discuss an soundboard on, like, what is real love, right? We're in relationships, we're still learning what real love is and defining what that is for us. I realized this is not what's healthy for me. Tried to break up with him. A few weeks later, he called me and said that the police and department called him regarding our conversations via text about the drugs.
What the fuck? How?
I don't know.
Well, that's fucking insane.
Little did I know, a few months into that, he's trying to be there for me through that process. I went to rave with our mutual friends because I was still friends with them. And I was like having fun with my friends, and he was in Vegas because we were broken up already. I was just vibing with my homegirls, you know, here a kiss here or there a little bit. You know, it's 2016, we're vibing. And then he messages all our friends. It's like, and just super mad at everyone, super mad at me. Get a phone call from him, and I'm just like trying to handle the situation. And I confront him like, yo, bro, is this fucking shit about the police even real? And he admitted he's lying. Yeah, so he was lying about that situation.
Jesus Christ.
And then that's like maybe the second month in our breakup. And then throughout that time, it's been a mix of fake messages, fake phone calls, trigger warning, a text message that he committed suicide, and me calling him and him saying, look, you care about me still. Like, this was like some movie shit. And I was like, this is happening to me right now. I got fake text messages about threats, about hacking me or finding me where I live. That was the last straw right after I finished the year with my friends. I was walking to our dorms. I remember it very vividly. I was getting those text messages. I called this person. They're like, and long story short, that led into like, you sound like a really nice girl. I'm sorry. He took our phone, blah, blah. And I was like, yo, what's the police office? They handled it. They asked me if I want to do
restraining order.
Restraining order. They texted, they called me. They said, he's not going to bother you anymore because they called him. And he didn't bother me after that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Dude,
that was a very short version of that story, but that was like one of the craziest ex stories.
Yeah, that sounds insane. Holy crap. I like when you went into depth about everything, like the police thing, and then to only for you to go to the police and for reals, right? And to do that, I was like, holy shit. I did not think the story was going to pan out.
He was trying to hold on. You know?
But also, when you said that he just stopped, I was like, well, I'm surprised about that too. Because usually it sounds like those kind of people will go very, very far to get
Who
what
knows,
they want.
right?
Maybe he's still waiting.
I did see him at a rave once, and I had PTSD and started running. It was really crazy.
Holy
I saw him,
shit.
and we locked eyes. I was like, whoa, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That was really crazy.
Damn.
That guy?
But I hope
Latino
he's
guy.
doing better. Like, love is love. Love takes people on some crazy experiences and like needs, and like, you know, that relationship was built off of not the healthiest base.
Foundation.
Foundation, yeah. And that was a learning experience for me and him, and hopefully like we both learned from it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, like I say, I've been fucking insane before for sure.
Yeah, you've been crazy.
Yeah, but I'm definitely chilled out now, you know, through my years, you know, gain a little bit of wisdom.
Right.
But I mean, I don't take back the stuff that I've done, like because they're not super bad, thankfully. But they were enough for me to be like, damn, what the fuck was I thinking? You know, because now I hear it from other people and I try to come from a place of non-judgment, you know, because I'm like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But, you know, like hopefully they learn, they get past it. And, you know, I feel like in general, relationships are kind of like stepping stones.
Yeah,
it sounds terrible.
100%. No,
but it's
Why
like,
does it sound terrible?
It does not
I think
sound
some people think it's kind of like, oh, well, on to the next type of thing. You know, so simple like that. And it's like when you say a milestone, it sounds like or a stepping stone, it sounds like the person's not cherished. You know, it's kind of like, okay, them next, you know. But I do think that as long as you come out of a relationship better, that relationship works. So I hear all the time where people say like, oh, are you still with whoever's? And the usual answer, if they're not, is, oh, it didn't work out. But I think relationships work out if you gain something for it, if you become a better person. So it did work out. We're just not together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like, yes, they are stepping stones, but they're required to be in your life in order for you to meet the other person, because you become a better person from that relationship, then you will only meet better people from there, or people that work with you better.
Dude, that's 100% right. Like I have a friend, one of my best friends. He's much younger than me, and like he's like heart romantic. You know, he loves love. He wants to be in love and stuff. You know, like, but like I told him like, hey, you have to like go through these relationships. You have to have these experiences and build on them. You know, each person that you date will teach you something different. Each person that you date, like it could be the one. It could totally be the one. You know, it doesn't have to be a stepping stone, but they're considered a stepping stone after the fact. You know, you have to go and put yourself out there, because every person will teach you a little bit more about yourself and about what you want out of like a partner too, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
I even wrote him a whole little guide on like how to date and everything.
Oh,
like,
you did?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's Alex. Yeah.
I knew right
I'm
away.
Alex.
You didn't have to say it. I just knew the way you described him. And I agree 100%. You know, like same thing, like, you know, not Alex, but my brother is very similar in that way. You know, my brother, Dante.
Yes.
So like he didn't start dating until he was like 26.
Wow.
You know, not trying to put his business out there, but I will. But like he didn't start dating until he was 26 because he was just extremely like picky with whoever he dated, and that's completely fine, you know. But the first person he dated, he fell for very, very hard, and he just didn't know how to work through like the usual relationship dynamics because he's never been through it before, and she has that experience. You know, she knows how to communicate. She knows like when they should talk about things and when they should cool off. And you know, and then it didn't work out for him because like I feel like he can take away a lot from that relationship because he felt like all he did was lose someone that he loved. You know what I mean? And and I feel like I tell him all the time, you know, it's like dude, go date, like just have fun, like meet people, learn more about yourself and them. Like I understand that you have a high standard for things, but then if you're building yourself up, then the standards get raised for the people that you date too. So, you know, I hope that he gets that point, but right now he's just kind of like in his own world. He's doing his own thing, but he's trying to better himself. So I see it. You know, he's working on himself, and you do that too. You obviously don't have to date to be better for someone else. You could also just focus on yourself and work on what you love doing, your craft, your business, your hobbies, and like balancing your life.
Right.
And that should be enough too.
So I know being a DJ is more than just playing music. Can you talk a little bit about the business aspect of it? Because I know as being a DJ, like you brand yourself, you have to advocate for yourself, your rates, the things you do, not only as just a DJ, but like for yourself and just like as a woman too. And if there's anything you can say on that, like for other women who are interested in this space, any like advice or tips that you've experienced within your own career?
Yeah. I mean, as a woman, as a cat, as a music lover. Thank you for that question. That is a real aspect of this industry. This industry is not corporate. No one's directing me and giving me an agenda of what to do in my career. So it's been a lot of like acknowledging that it takes a lot of self-discipline to be able to uphold a career in DJing, because it's my full-time job currently. And in regards to rate and value, that's also a self-battle, because we're sitting here not having a comparison in regards to when is it appropriate or not appropriate to bring up the conversation of, hi, I'd like to raise my rates. And when I've had to do that, it definitely feels uncomfortable, because in my current life, I'm not really used to asking or demanding for certain things. But when you have goals, that's why sitting down and progress checking is important, to sit down and say, what do I want next? And how do I define that concisely? And like very, very, very clearly. So like, I want to have a career in the music industry, but I can't live off a $100 rate. So per hour. Yeah. So being a businesswoman, not just only in my career as DJ Seduza, but also even running parties now, it's like I'm not only, especially with running parties, as a DJ, someone else is organizing the event and I come and they're booking me and paying me to play this time and create an experience for this amount of time. And then everything I do around that is based on my intentions and my needs and what I want to do for my career moving forward. But as a party thrower, as an event thrower, community organizer, from the moment idea is conceptualized, everything that is put up in the public is up for scrutiny, right?
Yep.
So when we're event organizing, and you throw an event as well, it's like, damn, like everyone's experiences is important, but everyone is different. But here we are trying to acknowledge everyone's differences and similarities, and also acknowledge what our purpose is as a business in terms of creating an experience. So those thoughts can definitely be overwhelming sometimes. But then as a business woman, it's also acknowledging that, like, okay, what is it that I started doing this stuff in the first place? It's easy to get caught up in different spaces that will almost put you in a place to lose yourself. So an example for that for me in my personal career is that, like, I'm tapping into different spaces, Hollywood, K-Town, OC, Bay Area, LA. Outside of those spaces, one of the spaces that I found myself in the position to almost lose myself was the Hollywood space. Hollywood is its own fucking animal. Like, it's heavily bottle service based. The industry and the space is just fucking different, and like the way that people hold themselves. How I describe my experiences in the Hollywood space is that people look like they're there to matter while also not being there to give a fuck about anyone. So that they're there to look like they're special, but not really care about anything else that's there. And then so I found myself invited to DJ in those spaces for whatever reason that the promoters invited me for. But I was like, oh shit, like, I'm like a very bubbly and open and inclusive person, and that's not what that space is. So, oh shit, like, I need to start being a little bit more cold. I need to start looking like not as smiley. And then I stopped myself. I was like, oh shit, that's how you get lost in the sauce. That's how you sit. That's how you sit there and be like, oh shit, like, now you're trying to adapt to a place that doesn't even align with your principles. I think when it comes to business, it's like, how do you you define your principles and needs very clearly, and notice when they're not being matched with the opportunities that you're taking. And that's something that I've had to like really be acknowledge. And even when it comes to party throwing, I'm working as a business partner with different venues to bring revenue into their spaces, while also be committed to what my needs are is organization, as a party thrower, as a community, or as a vibe curator.
Yeah. Ooh, vibe curator.
Yeah. And then sometimes you're gonna face some situations where certain things don't align. And so how do I as a business person agree to disagree and not take things too personal? And that's something that also plays in to my numbness to the industry. And I've noticed my numbness in the industry because motherfuckers will like try you. There's a lot of things will test your patience.
Yeah.
And I've become very numb to a lot of different things I've faced. But but I'm also trying to acknowledge, like, I don't want to be. So like an example for this to give some perspective is that I remember when Billie Eilish was up and coming, because she was going to our school and very excited to get all these opportunities. But then there was a position where I saw her becoming less smiley and much more, almost in my perspective, seems exhausted, because that's how I would describe, because things get tiring sometimes. Yeah. But I'm trying to, as a business person, not lose my sight of passion and stay very aware of what I started doing in the first place, why I started, because it's easy to get caught up in the business aspects, because quite frankly you have to be well versed in the business aspects of things. You're negotiating things, you're negotiating value, you're negotiating. So once you start setting value, you start adding like what is the value in history in the time. And that's why it's super important to, for example, reach out to other venues, reach out to other parties, reach out to like people like Peter and Dom who run parties, and they're making different negotiations with parties, and so you can acknowledge what the average is, so you're not over asking and under asking. So there's a lot of different factors in the business aspect that make things that people don't see, which is fine, because that's what administrative work is. It's back end work. But I hope that people can acknowledge that if you do start working and wanting to throw parties, or just being in the business of DJing, it is a business. You're a brand 100%. And you're a walking brand of yourself, and everyone looks at you for a certain thing. I've had people come to me and say like, oh, you're not so energetic today. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, as a DJ, like I can be energetic, but outside of that space, I would say I'm a very chill person, pretty wholesome. And sometimes people catch you in those spaces and they think that you're off brand. And how do you handle that stuff, right? As a business. No,
so, I feel you.
So you're saying, keep your head, like keep the things that your brand that you want to create, even if, let's say Hollywood and stuff's telling you to do something different. So you wanted to adapt to what they're doing, but rather than that, it's like you're creating your own vibe. You're doing your own thing in your own space, and people are coming towards that. Is that what you mean? Like, you are straying away from Hollywood and you're doing your own thing now. You're curating your own vibe because like you didn't want to change who you are. Would you say that's something you would tell up and coming DJs, to like keep your own vibe, don't change? Or would you say you should adapt?
It's situational, right? Because this business is a needs-based service for the most part.
Okay.
Until I've been throwing my own parties now, which I'm creating opportunities for myself and my friends and whoever I want to DJ. But for the most part, DJing for me in the past 2 years has been a needs-based service. So people are booking me, they're outsourcing me for their needs, and I have to acknowledge, hey, this is something that they want.
Okay.
And how do I take up that challenge?
So be adaptable.
Yeah, be adaptable, but also know your boundary of when you're being adaptable versus sacrificing your identity, right?
Yes.
So it's like, for me, I know like I can provide an experience, but that doesn't have to always be aligned with who I am. And that's the battle of the industry, because when I first started, I was invited to do Rewind's grand opening. And so from that experience, because it's a needs-based service, they needed me as a DJ. I accepted that opportunity. And then from there, I marketed it, I promoted it. And then people started assuming that I'm a hip-hop R&B DJ. And because of that, I started getting more opportunities in the R&B and EDM and hip-hop space. But it's not the only space I wanted to tap into. So how do you start outsourcing? How did I start outbounding? So what would I do? Like, I think one of the other lessons I've learned as DJing is that how do you put yourself in the fire? Everything about DJing can be so fucking uncomfortable because you're putting yourself to be scrutinized 24/7.
Oh, I see.
But it's just like, how do you take a step back and isolate yourself out of all the noise and distractions and ask myself, what makes me feel fulfilled? What feels good to me? What is it that I do that actually is memorable and makes me feel like I'm doing something that's successful? Because the success is subjective, right?
Yes, it is.
Right? So it's just like people are going to project their perception of success on me. And that's happened plenty of times. You need to do more of this. You need to do more of that.
You need to play more Bad Bunny.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But it's like, fuck, like, but they don't live in our minds 24/7. And they don't experience what we feel and what makes us feel good and what doesn't feel good. So it's like, if there is anything I would say to people who want to become a DJ or DJs currently, is like, try to like understand what you want and think about the moments that made you feel good, made you feel like you did something impactful, or define whatever success is that for you versus like assuming what success is for you from other people's perspective.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all that. That was actually really insightful. I feel like that could help a lot of like, not only just women, but people who are interested in the DJ world, where they see that there's like all these other aspects at play where it's like you want to be able to be adaptable, but you got to keep your head on your shoulders too, like what you want, and like just being able to be a creative, but being able to be a business person at the same time too, being able to represent your own self brand. So thank you.
Yeah,
I'm sure if there's any DJs out there, like,
oh.
All right, guys, welcome back to Lightning Round, where we ask our guests some rapid fire questions. If they can't answer on time, they have to drink.
Yep.
Holy shit.
Actually, take a shot. Take a shot.
You want tequila or?
I'm down.
Oh.
I was kidding.
That was actually the first question.
That's the first. And she got it right.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Michelle?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3. Your favorite set of all time that you played?
That's take a shot right there for sure.
Yeah, that's a shot.
That's take a
That's
shot.
a
Right
shot.
there. That's for sure. Take a shot.
Fuck.
It doesn't mean you don't answer the question.
Yeah, you still have to
one
answer.
of them.
Yeah.
Every guess.
Recently, I was in Canada, and I fucking love Canada.
Vancouver?
And I played my second Midnight Mondays set.
Nice.
I did that back in May, but I like came back knowing the energy and the vibe. It was really fun.
Nice.
Like I love like being able to feed on energy of the crowd, and then being able to like, I've been trying to practice more on freestyling.
Oh, nice.
Rather than just preparing sets. And I can prepare crates, but like really though, like spaces, a lot of the time you don't really know what you're putting yourself into.
Yeah.
So it's good to be kind of adaptable.
Yeah.
And like move on that. So that I definitely practiced that more this past week on Canada.
Nice.
And if you didn't know, Canada's regulations on alcoholism is 19 plus.
Yeah.
So that plays a huge role on their club scene, because now you're having 19-year-olds plus drinking fucking alcohol. That's a different energy than 21 plus. So I think that plays a huge role in my ability to like
Get the crowd going,
their physical look on, like they're just fucking raging, bruh.
Going all out.
So you got that cougar energy. Do you have a hidden talent?
I love to impersonate my friends.
Oh, go. Give us
I love to impersonate
Do
my
Adrian.
friends.
Do Adrian.
Who
Do Adrian.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
He always has the camera hyping someone up. And
Yeah.
such beautiful moments in these experiences. I love you, Adrian.
Yeah,
Adrian's
we all
always
love
making sure
Adrian.
everyone's feeling good.
Yeah.
All right, do Dexter.
100%.
Dexter.
Oh, that is Dex.
I love doing that shit. I
like
love making fun of my friends,
Yeah, that's
respectfully.
perfect, bro.
All right. If your fans had a name, what would it be?
You said it, Seduzers.
Yeah.
Seduzers. That was a good one. That's
When was your first kiss?
middle school.
Oh, she started young.
Yeah, youngin.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
Teleportation.
Favorite TV series?
The first one that came to mind is Criminal Minds, but
Criminal Minds is good.
I really liked TV series. I like.
You could do movie instead. Still have to drink.
Just look at his drink.
Yeah, I watch a decent amount of stuff. I do like a lot of different series. Favorite's hard because I barely watch TV, if I'm being honest with
Okay,
you.
same. What
I
about
like anime sometimes?
favorite anime? Okay, how about this? Top 5 animes.
Fuck, I cannot cap.
You can't do
I
top 5
name
animes.
Top 5 anime deaths.
They're all the basicest ones, and
Go
I feel
ahead.
embarrassed to say
Naruto?
so. I haven't watched Naruto.
Boku no Pico?
Family X Spy is a good one.
Anya's a cutie. Go
Yeah,
on.
Anya's such a cutie.
Okay.
Everyone's been watching that.
I did get to watch the Attack on Titans. That shit was fucking nuts.
That's good.
That was one of my introductions to anime. Demon Slayer. I haven't got to finish the movie version yet. Yeah, anime is so beautiful. I honestly got introduced to anime really late in my life. Like,
I thought you were a weeb.
COVID.
There's no
What's the
restriction
definition
of
of
time
weeb?
for weebs.
I don't know. It's just a very loose definition.
And the cat ears definitely
Anyway,
get people.
Yeah.
I think because of my cat ears, I got a lot of anime opportunities.
Like DJ that anime
yeah, she did
event,
it.
right?
I did.
That's why.
Like unintentionally, I just started like wearing cat ears because I thought they made me feel cute. I think actually Adrian was there when I first was crowned my first cat ears.
Crowned
That
your
was
first cat.
crazy.
Someone gave it to
So
you.
I didn't choose the life of cat ear wearing.
Cat
chose
life chose you.
Like
It's how it is. It's
like
you guys
my
don't understand. It's how it
homegirl
happens.
just looked at me. I was picking her up from a bender to have a wholesome
those.
day.
All right.
And like I came in and she's like, "Come here." It's like, "Okay." And then she was like, "Look at me." And I was like, "You look so cute." And she was wearing cat ears. And she's like, "Watch this." She shook her head a little bit and the bells rang. I was like, "Oh my God, that is so cute." And she's like, "You can wear them too." I was like, "Say less." She put them on me. And I was like, I was there for like 5 hours. And then I left to meet up with my other friends that I had already planned to see. And I wore them because I was like, this shit's fucking lit. Like, I feel so empowered with these cat ears
yes.
on. And I'm not going to lie, from there on out, I was wearing it at home in the kitchen. My family was like, "What the fuck?" I was like,
Wow.
"What do you mean? Like, what's wrong?" It holds my hair back. Excuse me.
Yeah.
I just burped.
Dan, it's you now.
Yeah.
So
No, and
you're just a cat
and then
now.
I just like wearing them. And then
Welcome
I was
to
like,
the
I'm
cat
gonna wear it
life.
to my gig one day. And then it was supported. And then I was
Yeah.
like, and then I just started giving them out. And I think everyone looks so cute in cat ears. Makes me feel
Mario looks
cute.
cute in cat ears.
Yeah, look
Thank
at this
you.
fool. Yeah.
Yeah, natural cat. He's more of a dog than a cat, but you know.
Okay. Last question from me. Do you have a kink or fetish? Oh, she does. Yee,
She laughed a little bit too quick right there.
She laughed way too quick.
Way
you
too
know
quick,
that,
bro.
and you're taking a little too long.
Yeah.
So
She's about to bust out a list.
hey, it can't be a.
Hey, no kink shaming on guys
Yeah,
that
there's
listen.
there's literally
at
no
all.
kink shaming in here at all.
2022, bro.
Yeah.
Love
Yeah,
is
go on.
love.
Yeah, kink shaming.
Interests are
Yeah,
interests.
we had a guest who loves like.
Everyone.
Yeah, he loves everyone. Let's
loves
just go with
everyone.
that. Let's
Yeah.
go with that one.
He like literally flirted with us on the podcast.
Yeah.
That's so
It was- it was-
cute.
it was
And I was like,
interesting.
yeah, bro, you're so handsome.
Yeah. That's when I learned how to compliment.
That's
yeah, time open format for sure.
Oh my God.
Oh, I know it. She's a furry.
I'm a furry.
Bruh.
I am not a furry, but I've heard of that.
Oh, Mario's also heard of it too.
You can watch our first
There's
episode. We
nothing
talk
wrong.
about furry.
Hey, I'm all about
Love
consensual sexuality.
100%.
with
and
people who
like
pretend to be animals.
Yeah.
No, I'm a cat. I'm a cat 24/7 from that point where my homegirl put my cat ears.
Yeah.
One of my kinks is
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. Do it.
okay. I like to role play.
No way. Like police officer or anime? Like
All of them.
give
Wow.
us give us
Multiple
an
options.
give us an example option. One of your last ones.
Your
There's
favorite option.
standard is the step bro step sis.
Oh!
That's why there's so many of those videos. You're the
Oh my
reason.
God. I don't know any of my friends who are into it, but now I do.
No step bro, no.
Oh my God.
Step bro, I'm
I
stuck.
know, right?
There's the teacher and
Uh-huh.
student.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's police officer. There's okay. This is just for the podcast.
All right, for sure.
Oh God. I've definitely role played Peggy Goo before.
Oh, the DJ.
Yeah.
I have.
As her?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Holy fuck. How does that work? I'm curious. Peggy, can you push my buttons, please? Like, how? Like, I'm curious.
Yeah, role playing is fun.
I could see you role playing as like Deadmau5 and you have the thing on, you know?
Have you seen my helmet?
Oh, yeah. I have.
She has a helmet.
I have a cat helmet. Yeah, I have a
why.
snowboarding helmet that I put carriers on.
Yeah.
And I
I
also
use
have
that.
like a motorcycle helmet that I used for a gig as a
I
recently.
got one more question.
Oh.
Have you used it in roleplay?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
What are your kinks? What the fuck? What the fuck?
You know,
Just say it. Hey, what's your kink? 3, 2,
the-
1. That's a shot, bro.
Nah. I can't talk because you're carrying down. I love running makeup.
What?
we talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this. I love running makeup.
Running makeup?
Yeah.
When it's like dripping?
But they gotta be like crying though.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
We
Oh,
we
shit.
both really like that.
Did y'all hear that shit?
No, this is on
Running makeup.
This was on the last one. We
Yeah.
literally talked about this on the last one.
You know this?
Yo.
You did
Yeah.
know.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad because like usually yeah, well, if my girlfriend has running makeup and she's crying, it's usually a bad thing, right?
You're having an argument.
Yeah, we're
and
having an
you're in the
argument. But I'm just like bricked up the entire time and then
So I'm not crying like Peter. Why are you hard right now?
And it makes things really awkward because she's like, you better not be fucking hard right now. Like we're getting an argument. I'm like, I
Has that ever
cannot.
happened to you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
She
it's
said
a
that?
real, it's a real
And
story.
then has she checked?
Yeah, and she'll
Yeah.
check.
Oh.
And I'm like, but you know what's nice is that she'll laugh right after that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like,
She's
you can't
like,
be
oh.
mad
And,
after that.
it
Like,
releases the
It
tension.
releases tension and other things. But yeah,
The Kraken?
the cracking.
So I mean, we talked about this last time, but it's like one part of it is that like I love it when girls are like crying, like just tearing up, just like because it's like you were here, you know about this, like because it's a part of it when like okay. When you're going down and then like you go so long that you're almost dying, like they're almost dying, you know, and they start to tear up, and it's like,
Bro, almost dying
Yeah,
is a
it's
terrible way of describing that.
It's the thing like you can't breathe, and it's like you've been going like crazy. I like that when you're just like, it's that, it's that, and I love dirty talk. I love dirty. Yeah, I love. In terms of like girls, like things that they said to me, it's like, oh, it's like, oh, I'm such a like slut for you, or like treat me like a dirty whore, or like use me, baby, like going on. Like I had this one experience with this girl.
You're naughty.
And after that, I just can't go back. I can't go back to vanilla. Like
No, you're right.
like after having that experience, I'm
can't
just like,
unhear it.
whoa, like it's just to have like something where I don't have that. I'm like, huh.
Yeah, you're right, dude. I totally understand that 100% because like I sound bad too, but anyways, like once I wouldn't say it's voyeuristic, but once you start,
Voyeuristic.
I've
like
literally heard you have sex outside.
having sex outside in like public spaces, it's kind of like,
Oh
man, that shit's kind of nice. You know what I
No,
mean?
it is. It's
the
fun.
air breeze, like yeah. Like I mean. It's weird because it's kind of like it becomes kind of like a challenge. You know what I mean? Where it's like, how many places can I have sex in
Without
until
getting
someone
caught.
catches me? You know what I mean?
I know.
But it's like it's kind of like a bad habit because then it's kind of like, yo, why are you late to my birthday party? I'm like, I don't know, bro. It's was talking to my girl in the parking garage. You know, like.
Have you ever done it at a party?
I have done. I think the two craziest places to me is I had sex on my roof one time. That was super random. Yeah, like my
That's
friends were
pretty nice.
partying
That sounds pretty
downstairs, and
nice.
I
That
was
sounds pretty nice.
I was raising the roof upstairs, and then next was like it was a national park. That one was
Oh, that sounds
crazy
really nice, yeah.
because then there was no one there, and it's weird because like I was at it's called the Salt Flats in like Utah, and if you go there, it's quiet. You can't hear shit, right? It's like
Hey, just hear Peter.
except that. They say the term like silence is deafening. And, like over there, that's how
just
it sounds,
clapping
right?
cheeks.
Yep. And then
In
we saw
Utah.
like I saw a couple people like walking like from like afar. And I was like, God damn, you think they know what we're doing? kind of looks like we're sitting with a tripod right now. But yeah, I don't know.
Wait, what's the craziest place you've done it?
The craziest place I've done. Oh my god, this is gonna sound so bad. This is fucking really bad. Oh my god. Okay.
Like, do it.
My fuck. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I went on a cruise to Mexico with my ex's family.
Oh, I remember this.
We had a shared bedroom, and it's in a cruise. It's really small. The bedroom is probably like this big, and there was like I think 2 bunks, and there's like 3 of us down. I think it was like her someone who was next to us, and for whatever reason, we decided it'd be a good idea to have sex while everyone was sleeping right next to us, and it was like
in the same room.
While everyone was there. I think it was her brother who was sleeping right next to us.
I know her brother too.
It was pretty.
Oh no!
Yeah.
You're wild.
You answer for it.
No. It's yours. It's 1, 2, 3 like this.
I think one of the most crazy experiences.
Oh, so there's more than one. Wow.
Yo, chill.
Yo.
Me and my ex were like linking up.
That's what the kids call it.
Oh, yeah?
It's like sneaky links.
Sneaky links sneaking up.
The bed he had was really fucking noisy. So he had a roommate at the time.
It's not a bunk bed, was it?
It wasn't a bunk bed. And one of the experiences, and like we were just like, and he had housemates at the time, so there's people at home, and we were just trying to vibe out. And so his roommate had a bed that wasn't as noisy. So we were like,
good Lord.
so we were like, well, he's not here for the weekend. He said that, and I was like, hey, that's your roommate, bro. If you think you're cool with him like that, by all means. And so like we started doing our thing on his roommate's bed. And then a few minutes later, he's like, I'm on the way home. And we're like, oh shit.
Oh, no!
And it's a goddamn mess on his roommate's bed.
Shit.
And so that was one of the probably craziest moments where we're just like, well, this is a predicament. Because we're just like, yo, roommate, so sorry, but there's some juices on your shit.
You're like, what dry cleaners are open at 12 a.m.? You know what I mean?
Fortunately, he was chill, but it's just like, I think there is a thrill in like public spaces or places we're not supposed to be doing 100%. Those things, like hotel rooms.
That's nice.
Given,
or just like not where like this not his bed, but it's his homie's bed, but it's like we're being bad girls and boys. Ooh, so naughty.
You're bad.
Rar. But but respectfully, and it was all he communicated to his roommate, and his roommate was chill. He's like, just clean my shit up, bro.
Wow, okay.
But that was a pretty
nice
that was almost borderline disrespectful, but respectfully.
Yeah, the most respectful way. Yeah. Wow, what a nice guy. What a guy. What a distinguished gentleman.
You've done that.
Huh?
You've done that.
What?
You've done the same thing.
Oh shit.
Remember Jeannie's house?
Oh shit.
Okay, that's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair.
Peter and his ex-girlfriend literally got in an argument made
up.
Oh,
you're talking about a different time. Oh,
sir. And we're having a party. We're like all get together, and they're like, "Hey, can we use your room to bang out?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay." And they just went in the room. We're all like, "Let's turn up the music."
All right.
All right, you can ask the questions now.
Wait, what the fuck? You thought you were getting away with this? That
was my crazy story right
there.
Yeah. All right, your ex-girlfriend's house.
My ex-girlfriend's house?
Yeah,
Which
in the
one?
bathroom. Your last one.
In the bathroom?
In the bathroom.
What the fuck? I shower in there, bro. What the fuck?
For the July party.
That was the 4th of July party? Oh my god, dude. Jesus Christ.
Last few questions.
We got a little distracted.
If you had to play one genre of music your entire DJ career, what would it be?
House.
Oh, wow.
If there's one event that you could play for, what would that be? Shots. Damn.
The first thought that came to me, I've never been there before, but I've heard such good things about Tomorrowland.
Oh,
yeah. And then when you think about Tomorrowland, their production is A1. Mm-hmm. And then as a DJ, sound system is so important. Visuals is so important. When I idealize an experience, I hope to at that point have been a producer, being able to play music and deserve that opportunity to play at Tomorrowland and be able to share with music with people who are there for the music very, 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 very intentionally. I've never been in Tomorrowland, but that's just the first thing that came to my mind. Yeah. But I thought of a lot of different festivals that, once you answer that question.
All right, nice. Well, we'll stick with Tomorrowland for now, right? Because I've heard it's super crazy.
I heard it's super beautiful.
Going next year.
Are you?
Yeah. Wow, you're so cool, bro.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
He's pretty
Appreciate
it. All right, cool. What is your biggest pet peeve?
People who speak on their opinions as if they're facts. One of my biggest pet peeves.
Okay, can you say example of what that might be?
So I've met people in this industry, particularly some of my friends at first, who would speak about their experiences and then they would adapt to them as if that was the defining factor of all people. Oh, well, girls this, or, well, this is how it is. Well, you have to acknowledge that if you're an entering DJ, you have to accept that rates are going to be low and blah, blah. And all these things that were so opinionated, but speaking on them as they're factual, not considering that people base their value and experiences on different standpoints. So just overall, people who just talk about things, and it's just a huge red flag when they invalidate people's experiences, because their experiences are what becomes their opinion. Yeah. And those are huge red flags for me, and I've learned that from experience. Okay. Yeah.
If you had one last meal.
Oh my God.
Jollibee.
The first thing.
That's racist.
The first item of food was sinigang. Sinigang is a Filipino dish that's soup and sour, almost sweet, almost sometimes. I think food that feels very comforting. Filipino food is a comfort food for me.
It is very much comfort food.
I love kare-kare. It's a Filipino peanut butter dish.
Oh.
With oxtail. But yeah, I guess
I'm hungry now.
quickly, which is the assignment, sinigang. But goddamn, last meal, that's crazy. That's hard.
If you weren't a cat, what animal would you be?
Butterfly.
Really?
Butterfly. Mm-hmm.
Really? A butterfly. You see how scary those motherfuckers look up close, though?
They can be.
Those motherfuckers look scary. You're like, goddamn.
Beauty and scary is very subjective, but if you think about the process of what butterflies go through, they go through the process of metamorphosis and crystallizing, and I think that's very relatable in terms of the human experience, is that we go through processes of experience and growing from them, and that's just always reoccurring. It's never I think as a human I always want to be going through a growing experience where I learn something and I feel through them and then I adapt. And then as an adult, we're always going through new lessons as we progress in our life, right? Yeah. Things that teach us to humble ourselves, to be mindful of. These are things that we can be more mindful of in our life to live a more peaceful life. Yeah. I feel like the butterfly experience is relatable as a human
experience. Definitely.
All right, guys, that concludes our lightning round. I want to say thank you to our amazing kitty cat guest, Michelle AKA DJ Seduza. Let us know where we can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at DJ Seduza, DJ Seduza. Twitter, same thing.
And thank you guys for making this far. Make sure you comment. Let us know what you guys think about the podcast, what we should talk about next. Like, subscribe so you get the updates. But don't forget, live fast, eat ass.